Thank you. I want to talk a little bit about one of the bills that I have before the committee that we have passed in a bipartisan way previously, which is the Southern Nevada Economic Development Conservation Act. It's S1005. And Mr. Raby, let me start with you. You talked a little bit, and Ms. Torres talked a little bit about SNPLMA. Very familiar with that in Southern Nevada. It's been in existence since 1998, and it created a disposal boundary around Las Vegas and directed the BLM and Clark County to engage in a joint selection process to approve parcels of land for disposal. This ensures that local government has a role in determining whether land is developed, where, when, and how. And this legislation I have builds on that legislation to expand the boundary and places a cap on the amount of acres that can be developed in the future under SNPLMA. Quick question: the legislation that that is before you today, does the Clark County Lands Bill mandate land sales in the legislation that is before you today?
Well, the Clark County Lands Bill, and thank you again, Senator, for the question. It provides the opportunity for those land sales on those acres, and is a much-needed opportunity for expanded growth and development in the greater Las Vegas area, Las Vegas Valley, and Clark County in general, for everything from housing to, again, other development needs.
But it doesn't mandate that land sale. In other words, because of that collaboration.
That's right.
If we are expanding the disposal boundary, doesn't mean that everything is going to be sold. There is a process that the county will work through with the BLM to determine when and where they will move forward with that land sales. Is that correct?
Yes, Senator Cortez Masto, that's absolutely correct.
Right, and because I'm trying to dispel some of the misinformation out there. This doesn't mandate that the 25,000 acres is being sold. I also know, and we know in Nevada, Las Vegas uses less water than it did in the 1990s. And that's because of the incredible conservation and drought mitigation work that we have done, particularly in Southern Nevada. Is it your understanding that these water conservation efforts will still be a priority in the Clark County Lands Bill for future development as well, that is not going to be negated in any way whatsoever?
Yes, that's correct, Senator Cortez Masto. Those will still continue on and remain a focus into the future.
And then part of the collaboration around this particular piece of legislation focused on the need for affordable housing. And can you touch on that? And what I'd really like you to confirm is, because in Nevada, for us to address housing needs, working with the federal government, there's two actually agencies we have to work with, not just the BLM, where the land would come from, but HUD, right? And so can you confirm how BLM implements that authority when we are invoking it under SNPLMA and looking at affordable housing, and how you would work with HUD?
Yes, again, thank you for the question, Senator. And the way we work with HUD and with the local communities is that the local entities nominate those parcels for affordable housing to the BLM. We then coordinate with Housing and Urban Development to ensure it meets the requirements under the Cranston-Gonzalez Act. Again, the annual mean income, so that we can ensure that those parcels will be utilized for affordable housing in perpetuity.
Right. And are there barriers that you can speak to, or hurdles that you face in deploying these projects?
I would say the barriers that we are seeing right now have to do with the nomination process. I think we could look at a joint selection process that would allow the BLM a more active role with the local communities to help guide that.
Thank you. And then finally, with respect to this legislation, S1005, based on the property and the sale of certain property, there's revenue that's generated, and that revenue comes back into the state. And I'm going to ask both Mr. Raby and maybe Ms. Torres talk about the revenue that comes back to the state. How does it benefit, and is it just Nevada? What is that revenue used for, and how does BLM make that decision? And then, Ms. Torres, if you could touch on the conservation piece of it as well.
Yeah, Senator, again, thanks for the question. And just in brief, the funds that are generated through the land sales are deposited in a special account. And those are utilized for everything from hazardous fuels reduction work to capital improvement projects, to parks, trails, and natural areas that, communities benefit from, and especially rural communities, in addition to the urban areas. Places like White Pine County, Lincoln County, Churchill County benefit from the opportunity to receive funding through the Southern Nevada Public Land Management Act special account.
Thank you. I know I'm running out of time, and if Ms. Torres can just address this question, I would appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator. Yeah, there's two ways I think really that those funds benefit conservation. One is you're allowed to use those funds to purchase land that can help create wildlife corridors and strengthen, the investments and other protections that we have in the county. And the second I mentioned in my testimony has been used to really enhance recreation and conservation opportunities, either through stewardship or creation of new trails, really creating a complete package for the conservation protections with the stewardship investment, and then guiding recreation to be used in a way that's not creating more damage.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I know my time is up, but I thank you for the